Who to blame? Who to blame, Makosi? Definitely, we need to blame someone. On today's game, Wednesday, someone needs to be blamed. So, yeah, we played, guys. I don't know, from you viewers at home, who do you think was at fault on today's game? Because the players, coaches, what happened? For me, it's still unclear what happened, to be honest with you guys. But honestly speaking, I feel like Abachita, they tried for the second half. The first half, obviously, it was not so great for us, especially because Siwelele was putting a lot of pressure. They were doing everything exceptionally well, leading up to the two goals that they've managed to score. So, Tina, we started to realize, and then we started to try to, you know, get back into the game while it was a bit too late. So another thing I feel like we need to talk about is the fact that the players currently, we definitely do need players, guys. I know a lot of you are going to say, but QP, we do have players. The only thing that we need now is a coach. Well, coaching is not everything, and it's something that took me a little bit while to understand, because I'm looking at the players currently. We have Msimango, we have Omarko, all those players that we currently do have, and then also looking up front, especially up front. I'm having a lot of problems up front because uh we do not have an attacker, someone who's attack minded. It is something that we are currently missing, because you look at our players. The only player who came in today and I felt like understood the weight of a pass, like what does it mean to play a beautiful weight of a pass, it was Mfundo Villaraz. The rest, they didn't understand. All the passes were just going astray or going to straight to the opponents. The only person who tried to be a bit better in terms of former passes actually was not a bit better. It was accurate. Even the ball distribution, I looked at it. It was about at 99%, actually 100%. Brendan Peterson deserves, the accolades, because he done exceptionally well. He did an incredible job. Give it up to Brendan Peterson Buffet too. Maybe with the starting 11, we might have fumbled, but for me, I thought this lineup would work, but at the end of the day, we saw how it played out. It was nowhere near what we thought it would be. I understand they tried, their best in terms of trying to defend and all of that, but at the end of the day, it was just not good enough, because the first goal, how we considered the first goal, obviously I said it's a rebound. Big ups to Botsane for being able to try and maneuver and make sure we are finished, because Brendan Peterson, that initial save, I have to give it up to him, Bafeto. He's done an incredible job making sure we are saver the Lapolo. But people are not going to look at that. People are not going to talk about that. People are just going to talk about the fact that we've conceded the goal and we've lost the game. But honestly speaking, big up to Brendan Peterson, Bafeto. I give him without the benefit of the doubt. It doesn't mean Jomba is conceded today because of the defense. Because today, honestly speaking, I feel like the defense here too has let Brendan Peterson down. We were way too casual. We were way too casual with the ball. Hence, I'm asking you guys, Uti, do we then now blame the coaches, or do we blame the players? Because one of them needs to take responsibility. And for me, I'm saying the players were too casual for today's game. I don't understand why. Maybe it's because we're coming from a derby and we have this excitement to know we played a draw. No, guys, we needed to focus. We needed to focus. We needed to execute everything according to the plan. Yes, we tried, to slow down the tempo of the game. We tried everything, but it was not working. What we saw second half, that is what was working, because Nati, we were now attacking them. We were no longer just slowing down things, but we were attacking them. The only thing that I can say, Uti, it's a big disadvantage with us. We play balls without thinking, without scanning, without thinking. I saw a pass that was coming from Wandile Duba, Bega Pasela or Flavia Silva. That pass was not even a true ball. I thought Tufunu a true ball, but it was not a true ball. On pass a mover. And now you expect Flavia Silva to turn and look at the ball. Why ungampasa satenile? don't pass him Sega Pige Pambili. How do you expect then the player to look at the ball at the back and then Akone Ulbamba so that he can turn again to face the goalkeeper? That doesn't make any sense to me. So those are the kind of things I feel like maybe we do need different kind of players, or you guys might say it's because of the coaching. Because in Bozile, I'm still going to ask again, do we blame the coaches or do we blame the players? Yes, I understand, guys, we've played 7 games without the loss. This is the 8th game, which if we did not lose could have meant something different, but we did lose. We dropped points, very, very crucial points. I told you guys with this game is very, very, very important, but also it was a big test for the coaches. How are they going to respond to such a game? Because definitely now we've played Siwelele. Next, we're going to play Mamelodi Sundowns. Obviously, it's going to be a very, very big game. By the way, I feel like Bebadlali draw is Sundowns. They ended up scoring. I don't know now. Okay, they've won. At least they are back on number 1 spot. They are on 61 points, but it's not too far. We're still left with 4 games. 4 games is a lot, Buffet too. It's a lot of points, not just a lot of games, but it's a lot of points. We have 3, 6, 9, 12. So that's a lot. That's a lot, Buffet too. We need to understand what those 4 games, there's a lot of points that we can accumulate, and also there's a lot of points that Amazulu can also accumulate and kick us out of number 3. So there's a lot that can happen in terms of football, Buffet too. This is football. Nothing is as it seems. It's unpredictable. We need to understand that. But I'm thinking I'm thinking so far, um the players needed to do a lot more better. Obviously, I'm not happy with passes working, you know. Always because passes working, they're not even finding the players, they're not finding our teammates. It's a big problem. I don't know how they're going to fix that, but they need to try and work something in terms of that, because Umfana too, yes, we've been anticipating him, we've found him, but now it's a problem because our passes working, they are not accurate, and we need better passers, we need better vision, we need something that is going to align with the standard of the team. So with how things are going, I'm thinking we might need to sign a lot more than just what we thought in terms of the attacking midfielder, because currently Augustin Sereno is not playing, and you saw how frustrated he was today. And I'm thinking to myself, Shitty, we are preparing to play the next season and coming seasons without him. Hence, we introduced Umfundo Velagazi instead of him, because let's say today we needed a win. Instead of introducing Augustin Sereno, the club or the team decided to introduce Umfundo Velagazi. I'm not saying Fundo had a bad game. Obviously, he had a good game. He changed a lot of things. We saw a lot of good passes. His passes were finding the right players at the right moments, but we squandered those chances that we could have used, to be able to score goals. But the problem now is, if we are going to sign a different player, is that player going to be different? Okay, Omjita will be the next Gaston Sereno, or are we going to say we're going just to sign an attacking midfielder because we have let go of Gaston Sereno? Remember, Ethan Cheslet, we've seen him. We know how good and how capable he is. He's not a skillful player. That is something that I'm going to say, and I'm going to repeat again and again and again and again. Ethan Chislet is not a skillful player. Yes, he's a good player. He knows how to put the right weight of the passes, all those basic things. Now, he said it himself. He came to South Africa. He wants to learn. So we can't heavily rely on him. Sizomdinga on other games, but honestly speaking, where are we going to get a skillful player like Gaston Sereno? Well, fine. Let's forget about the attacking midfield. We look at the wing here too. Ulilepo, I'm not gonna talk much about him because Ulilepo Bafeto, as much as sometimes I'm frustrated by him, I understand where he shines. He shines and excels at making sure that he hits the back of the net. You saw the chance that he had today. I can consider that one big chance. I don't know how they look at them as big chances, but I think that was a big chance. If we managed to score that one, it would have been a goal, but unfortunately, it did not happen that way. So, yeah, guys, there's a lot that needs us to look at in terms of the club. I thought, while we were playing, we were not losing. I was like, okay, everything is fine. It looks like we might be competing for number 2 or number 1. But now, looking at things, okay, this was just a fantasy. If we play another team like Iskukune United plays almost kind of similar football to Ilona. Siwelele. Hence, I'm worried. It looks like we're going to lose on Isikukuna United. Why? Because of how we played today. It's a big problem. It's a big problem for me. Against the Sundowns, I know things are going to be a lot more calmer. Sizodlala kind of similar football. Then obviously individual brilliance is going to work. Someone is going to try something, or someone is going to make a mistake somewhere, and then it becomes a win for either them or us. But with this Kokuna United, they play this kind of football. What then? What are we going to do? Because that's going to be difficult. It's going to be very, very difficult. I think we still have Richards Bay to play, which also, I don't know, but so far it looks like Nabo. It's the same kind of style of football that they're playing. So it's a big problem. It's a big problem. I feel like, yeah, we need to look at this on a much, much deeper level. Even defense here too. Yes, we are solid at the back, but honestly speaking, when it comes to a counter attack or a counter press, Tina, when we are supposed to counter press, it's a problem. Ama counter attacks, we can't defend them. It's a problem when we have to face a side Langale, which means if we make one mistake, we lose the ball. It's gone. It's done. So I don't know. Tell me, what do you think, guys? Do we need, honestly speaking, do we need a new coach, or do we need new players? There, I've said it. Let me look at your comments for future, because I feel like there's a lot that we need to talk about. By the way, please don't forget to like the video. Thank you so much for supporting and looking at football trends with OQB. So looking at this, ngiyabona. I have Umelo who says they are tired. Well, okay, with that, it makes sense, Melo, because we played just a day or 2 days ago. So it looks like the way it's letting our corner today, it looks like we did not even have time to prepare for this game. Eventually I figure, and we were like, okay, let's play. And then we played way too casual. It was like straight to Booyah, we were resting, basically snooker or a pool somewhere. And then we got back, and then we said, you know what, let's play this game and see if we are going to draw or maybe we are going to win. You understand? But the changes or the substitutions, I feel like they done an incredible job. Unfortunately, it was just not meant to be. One delay, Ola my brother, Ola QP. The coaches are still doing well, but our players need to be on the right mindset. Definitely, I do agree with you on that one. Nakona, it is just one game, guys. It's not something that can determine whether we need to restructure the whole players or we need to For me, I feel like we do definitely, yes, we do need an attacking midfielder, a very special one, because this is a special team. We need a winger, a very special one, because this is a special team. A winger that is going to play like Apolis or Mfukengi. Siyayidinga leyo winger. Yes, we've missed out on Apolis, but we do need that winger, not just one, but 2 wingers. I think Ulilepo Naye is another player whom we might let go of if the right offer comes along. So we need to look at the possibilities. We need to do something about that. And then I jump to Umelo again. We need players, okay? And then I go to Wandile. We go to the drawing board and regroup. Time to face Mamelodi Sundowns. Definitely, that is true. We are going to face the Sundowns. With the Sundowns, I'm not expecting the performance that we saw today, because today, 8:29, and it's a Wednesday. So Lala again in a Wednesday, which means we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days to prepare. Obviously, let's say 5 days to prepare for the Sundowns. I know we're gonna do a lot more better than what we did today, especially on the first half. And then I look at Andy QB. Those coaches are experimenting. They must go. That is true. OT, sometimes they do experiment, But today, it did not feel like an experiment to me. It felt like it was the right approach. And yeah, just the players, they disappointed us. I feel like the players today disappointed us. They did not find their rhythm. They took this game way too lightly. They were not thinking, it's okay, this is going to be a difficult game. You know, I think the players today are the ones that disappointed us, because for me, with the experimenting part, you look at the subs that were made, they made a huge impact. They made a lot of difference from the first half. The second half, so this a change. We brought in Silva, we brought in who's this guy? We brought in guys, why am I forgetting the subs that were made just now ngasekudala? Because bengibukela manje game, like right now, literally right now. So whew, I don't know, but this one is quite interesting. Umfundo obviously nayo ungenile, uvele bayi wangena, but there's also another player. I forgot who that player is who came in. I'm just trying to. Oh, Inaso Mikael. Safawu Inaso Mikael. We had to take out Paseka Marco, and then we brought in those players. I feel like Ucele had a good game. Why am I saying this? Is because Uzamile, he made very, very important saves, and he tried to make sure we are winning the ball. Unfortunately, we were losing most of the ball. Momboy was nowhere near the performance that he always gives to us. And then also Riff Rosler came in. Obviously he had to come in for Aiden McCarthy. Now this is a trend that I've just noticed with Aiden McCarthy. Whenever things get tough, I don't know, maybe it's because of an injury, maybe I'm jumping to conclusions, but whenever kuba tough, izinto ziba nzima, Omchita, he opts for his hub, which is quite interesting and strange for me. Even the next game, angaqala adlale, and then when he sees what things are very, very hard and they're very tough, uzobona kuthiwa, and then some substitutes up. But maybe I'm just reading too much into it, because there was a game where he fought very hard. I think it was the first Soweto derby. He fought very hard. It was difficult for him, but he tried by all means to get back in the game and try whatever he can in order to help us stay in that game. But from then, I'm not too sure, but maybe I might be reading too much into it. And then, Andy, why did we play the starting lineup? You can tell me that Siwelele is stronger than Pirates. At least if we played Mtetwa, Ndlovu, and Mambowe, it was going to be a solid. At least the draw was going to be better. Okay, let me start with Ndlovu. Ndlovu is currently out, not because Bebafuna Jogum keeper, it's because he's injured. He picked up something during the game of Soweto Daba, unfortunately. And then with Umambowe, obviously, he played today. And then Umtetwa, I felt the same way about Umtetwa, but then also Ucele did not have a bad game. He is a player who, let me check. You see, Ucele had about 7.7 rating. 7 point what? Yeah, 7.7 rating for today. So he did not play badly. He played very good. He made some very good saves. It's just that obviously when we're losing, we tend to want to blame someone. Me, and the only player I can blame is Marco, even though Marco did not do anything wrong. I feel like Marco did not do anything wrong. It was just the pacing of the game. They were way too fast for him. He could not be able to keep up. Hence, that side, we felt like we needed to make a change, bring in Mikael, and then let's push it to McCarthy this side. You understand? So that is something that we also need to look at. And then I look at Natalie. This was not the game for Mfundo. Yeah, I understand, but Mfundo played very well. I think maybe it's because he's Siwelele with Katela, but Mfundo played well. For me, I don't have any complaints about his performance. And then in the QP, those coaches don't have tactical skills or maturity. If tactics fail, why can't they adjust them while the game is in progress? It seems like they are clueless. And no ways. Okay, I think I will have to give you this one. I think I'll have to give you this one. And then Utuli, I'm sure you're an Orlando Pirates fan. You're very, very happy. There was no Abungile Tom. Well, I do agree with you, but this referee, man, he was not make sure. The only thing I'm happy about is the fact that he was fair to everyone. It was not just uh, Kaizer players or Siwelele players. He was fair to everyone. They are unfair to everyone. So for me, he was fair for that. For being unfair to everyone. Even though I felt like there were penalties, certain things that we could have used to at least get back in the game. And then Prince Lerato, I think Chiefs need to change the philosophy. You can't rely on crosses. Thank you. The number 10 role got lost. Thank you. You see, Prince, this is very accurate. This is very accurate. You know, we try to use the same thing even though it's not working. Hence, Andy is saying the coaches do not have a plan. I understand why he's saying that. Hence, I said I will give you this one. So the philosophy here too, it's not working. And it's not because it's not working. I feel like it's not working because there's certain players that do not fit the style or the philosophy that we are trying to use as a club. Hence, I talked about Amabola coming from Uvele Bayi. Those the crosses, they were not even going to the players. You understand? Ulilepo, two crosses coming from Uvele Bayi, they all went way outside the pitch. Way outside the pitch. You understand? Mfundo understands how we are playing, and he's that kind of a special player. I'm hoping we can get a lot more special players like that, so that's Konugdala, the kind of football that we want to play. Problem is, we want to play like Liverpool, but with players adlalela a PSL team. You understand? Or we want to play like, it's not even PSG. PSG plays more of a pressing football, like counter-attack football. I think it's more of like FC Barcelona. Yeah, Barcelona is the perfect example. We want to play like FC Barcelona, but then the standard of our players currently doesn't meet that level. I'm not bashing anyone. I'm not trying to talk bad about our players, but we need to be honest about that. It is a fact. It's definitely a fact, guys. There's a lot of players I'm not happy with their performances, and I feel like they can do a lot more better, but we are not there. And then I have, where was I? Makubedu. QP, the club needs to change from relying on the crosses. Come on, man. We are Kaizer Chiefs. We can't even capitalize on the counter attack. Thank you. This is another thing. Tina, we can't counter attack. Counter presser. We can't use set pieces. Tina, we are failing. Today we tried. I think we tried today. The cross from Mfundo Vilakazi was one of the best for me compared to all the crosses that we had, because it found the right man. Unfortunately, Michele winged it outside, or was it Michele or Silva? I'm not sure. So we are failing to utilize those things, and I've said it before. Those counter attacks that we need to utilize, those set pieces, those corners, those free kicks, everything that we need to utilize are the things that are going to win us games. We could have scored 3 goals today with just counter attacks. I don't want to lie to you. With just counter attack, the same thing that they did to us, we could have used it to score. But Tina, it's like, I don't understand what goes on. Siyahamba nebola, masifika, we then go back. For what reason? I honestly don't know. And those counter attacks, they count. Right, let me calm down. Moving on. Jabulo, hey QP, let's watch out. We are the winner in the downs. Aw, madoda. Kanjalo nje. Again, Jabulo says we are vandaag was exposed. Yeah, definitely they exposed us. We were too comfortable. I feel like number GW today were now relaxed. They thought everything is now fine. We were too relaxed, guys. We thought we could die, man. Currently we have what needs to be done. So I see the votes, guys. I see the votes. You guys are blaming the players. 26 votes. Please don't forget to like the video, Buffet too. Thank you. Thank you so much. QP, what if Chiefs will never win any game from their remaining games? The reason being how they are playing. No, it seems like they only wanted to play the derby, then got too excited for playing a draw. Definitely, that is a good point. That is definitely a very good point. Nearly a draw, honestly speaking, I understand we go there wanting to play a draw, but for us fans, doesn't make any sense. Like we don't understand why we are trying to play a draw while we have players. There was someone who was comparing our players to Orlando Pirates players, and I was starting to think about it and looking at it, and I'm like, okay, we have Silva. Flavio Silva is doing a lot more better than a lot of center forwards at Orlando Pirates. You understand? We look at Ulilepo. Lilepo, as much as Afambola, yes, he doesn't have a lot more goals like Opodis, Nabo Rile Mfukeng, even though currently he plays as a winger and as a attacking midfielder. But he has the capability of making sure that he hits the back of the nest. The only thing I'm disappointed about is the fact that he can't, you know, do something about the ball Maganado in his legs. He's like Flavio Silva. Sometimes it's just like, okay, I have the ball, but now what to do with the ball? You understand? Especially attacking. When we go to attacking, we figure Lena he's gonna do the same thing that he always does, which obviously is way too predictable. And I feel like hence I said we need at least a winger that is going to try and take on defenders, because it gives you flexibility when you know that that player is going to try something, is going to take out defenders, and then bring the ball back. Would that be something that is going to get us something? You understand? So no, I definitely agree with you, Andy. We were too happy about the draw. We felt like we won, and now we're taking things very lightly. But also, I think we have to look at the fact that we played just a day or 2 days ago, so maybe we have to take that into consideration, because Silalile Sunday, this Sunday is Silalile, and then Izolo. We needed to rest. Maybe we could not rest, and then now we have to fly. We had to fly, obviously. We had to fly Sizokono today's game. So this was a bit too close. So I'm not judging a lot, but I am giving out a bit of a backlash, but not too much. So yeah, with this one, it's fine. It's fine. But the next game, I'm hoping for the best. The next game, I'm hoping for the best. Even if we can play a draw, but I'm hoping for goals and for the best from the